Hi. Nice to be here.
Hi, Donna. I'm so glad that you have joined us. She is joining us all the way from Northern California.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. This is the first time that we have recorded remotely from somebody, and I think we've got it figured out just fine. So I'm really pleased to have you here. I've been a little nervous about this one, but I think it's going to be fun.
A little nervous, Donna? He's been a lot nervous.
Oh, really?
He has. Yeah. He really has. And
I'm not gonna reveal any.
You can. No, don't say the really bad stuff. But you could talk about when we were kids.
Oh yeah, and Donna, you have been an avid listener. You listen to our podcast every now and then, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Well, so you have empathy for me.
Like
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk a lot about our growing up together, and because we did a lot of cool things being from a military family. What were some of your most favorite memories from our growing up?
I think just being in the different countries and Dad making sure that we were kind of immersed in the culture of the country we were in, and learning the languages. Japan, Spain. I just remember counting in Japanese. I remember Spanish.
Yeah.
Which I think was probably our favorite.
That was my favorite.
And then,
do you remember we had a maid in Japan?
Yeah, Hiroko.
Hiroko, yeah.
Yeah.
that was.
I remember that.
Yeah, she was. She would just like a mom. I think she spanked us and she corrected us and loved on us.
Yeah.
Next up on the podcast, we're gonna find her. Yeah. I know why Spain was Steve's favorite place. What was your favorite place? Spain was Steve's favorite because of the beach and the girls. That's what I think. But what was your favorite place where you lived?
Spain, I think. Yeah.
Why was that? Did you feel like you had a lot of freedom there?
Yeah, we had a lot of freedom, and my parents were. My dad was always very, involved in keeping us, immersed in the community, and we'd go down and have tapas at the bar, and we used to spend a lot of time at the. But that wasn't it, Casa Pablo.
Down there in Puerto, looking out over the water, right?
Yeah.
That was the place
and
where
we go down there. And
go ahead.
That's where we go down and have dinner and just walking around and being a part of, just immersing ourselves.
Yeah, that was the place where you would get all the shrimp that still had the shells on them, and you'd shell them and then just throw the shells on the floor, and the guy would come around and sweep up after you. Was that the place?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not going to do that in the United States.
Donna, what is your earliest memory of Steve as a big brother?
My earliest memory of Steve as a big brother. I don't really have vivid memories. I just, from pictures and stuff, like the picture. Did you get the picture of us when we were little? The one picture of Steve and I where Steve's holding my hand.
Oh, I do. I do have that one. I can pull that one up for sure.
Yeah, I have it.
Was Steve?
That was in Japan.
Was it in Japan?
Mm-hmm. I think.
Yeah, it was.
When Steve was growing up, was he more of a protector towards you, or was he a teaser, a bully, big brother?
He was kind of a bully, big brother.
That's the way I remember it too, Donna. And I will go on the air right now and say I apologize for being such a butt to you when we were younger.
That's what we have in common right there. Steve's a bully to me too. Yeah, oh wait, that's me. I'm the bully to Steve.
That's true. Yeah, I feel really bad about not being very nice to you when you were little.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Like, what do you remember, Steve? Like, what do you remember?
Well, I think I was just mean all the time, and I was always sitting on her, and I don't know, messing with her. Yeah, there's that picture.
Yeah.
Is that on? Can
Yep.
people on YouTube
I
see
did.
that?
I just saw that. Yep.
Yeah. That's got to be. Oh, actually, it looks like maybe there's a flamenco dress in the. No, it wouldn't be Spain. We're too young there.
So you said that was in Japan?
Maybe that's Virginia.
I think it was in Japan.
That might be Virginia.
Oh, well, I don't. Yeah, because I think I look like I'm about 1, and you look like you're about 2. So we had to have been in Japan.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess it was Japan. There's something in the background there. I thought it was a flamenco dress, but maybe it's not. Oh, actually, I think that's some Japanese art that I remember from.
I have that picture up on YouTube right now. So.
Wow.
So what most people don't know about you and about Steve's sister is that you have struggled with MS for the majority of your adult life. And you were diagnosed with this when you were like in your mid-20s or so. Is that correct?
I was like the day before my 25th birthday.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that young. Yeah, well, you were having... It took them a while to diagnose you, right? You were having issues for a couple of years before they actually gave you the diagnosis?
Yes, yeah.
And what were a
long time.
Yeah, what were the first things that you noticed that made you realize something wasn't right?
I kept like tripping and falling, and I was always pretty graceful person, and then all of a sudden I would just be walking and my foot would drop and I'd fall down, or I would be out. I remember the thing I remember mostly is I was out running with the dog, and every day.
Oops.
Around the lake, and I was running with him, and I just tripped and fell. Which was not something I normally did, and then. The other thing I remember is I was cutting up steak and, like making, and I just remember I was gripping it with my left hand and slicing with my right. And I just remember my fingernails kind of, digging into that red meat and having to, go in with my right hand and peel my, hand off.
Because it was like a spasm in your hand, in your left hand?
Yeah, yeah. So,
and at that time, was that in the 80s?
Yeah, in 1989.
89.
I was in Holland.
You were in Holland?
We were in Holland.
Oh, my goodness. So were you having to go to VA doctors? Is that where you were going to? Or
no, they actually sent us. Yeah, they sent us to to a doctor, a Dutch neurologist. So he had a very thick accent, and sitting across the desk from us with a cigarette in his hand. And
no way.
You have sclerosis multiplex. And my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, multiple sclerosis. So it was kind of nice to get a definitive, okay, this is what I have. Mm-hmm. So this is what we have to do. And but it was kind of very surreal getting that diagnosis.
I bet it was.
Because that.
Go ahead.
Worst case scenario,
Yeah, I knew you had it when you came back from Holland, but I didn't realize how it was affecting you until I think I don't remember where I met you, but it was the first time I saw you, and I came over and I gave you a hug, and you hugged me with one arm, and I said something like, "Well, hug me with both arms," and you said, "I can't." You couldn't lift your left arm. That was the first time I.
Yeah.
Were you pregnant at that time?
No, I didn't. We didn't have Eric until we were 28.
Okay, so 3 years into the diagnosis.
Right, yeah.
Do you, I'm going to just kind of change rabbit trails here for a second. Do you remember you had that bird that you left with me when you went to Holland?
Yeah.
Do you know what happened with that?
He ate it. Did you eat it?
Didn't eat it. Do you know the story behind that?
I think you told me that your dog killed it.
Your dog ate it.
What was it? Do you remember the bird's name? I can't remember.
Steve's trying to get his story straight now in his head.
Pepsi.
Yeah. So you left me that bird. It was a cockatiel or something, or a cockatoo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So I went for a 112-mile bike ride one day, and I came home and I was exhausted. And
one day? That was in one day?
Yeah. And the bird was hanging on a hook in the kitchen. It was in its bird cage. And I put a pot of water on the stove to cook some pasta, and then I went and laid down on the couch and fell asleep for 4 hours. And the water all boiled out of the pot, and it was a Teflon pot. And I didn't realize it at the time, but Teflon, when it is superheated, is toxic. And I walked in the kitchen and I saw this pan smoking, and the bird was dead. So again, Donna, I apologize for killing your bird.
That's a happy little story. I was going to ask you, Donna, what's something annoying that Steve has done?
I killed her bird,
aside
Michelle.
from killing the bird. But I want to know a little bit about not only teenage Donna, but I want to know about teenage Steve. And when you would have, because what is the age difference between the two of you guys?
It's not even a year.
11 months.
Oh my goodness! So when your girlfriends would come over, when your friends would come over, would Steve flirt with all of the girls, your friends?
Yeah. Well, they all wanted. The only reason they wanted to be friends with me is so they could spend time with Steve.
I don't think that's right.
Oh, stop!
I did make out with some of your friends, though. That's funny. That's funny.
Good old Steve. Yeah.
Well, the girl across the road in Spain.
Kathy, wasn't it? Was it Kathy?
I
think it was Kathy.
Name, but she had a big crush on.
Oh, she had the hots for Steve Mallett.
Yeah.
Oh, let's call
They
Kathy.
were good friends.
Let's call Kathy. What's Kathy's last name?
Let's go find her. I wonder what she's doing in life now.
She passed away, actually.
Oh,
geez.
goodness.
Oh, you're thinking of Joan Calcutt. Is it Joan Calcutt? Yeah. It was Joan Calcutt. She passed away, 10 years ago. I knew her for a long time. I knew her when we would both I would go to her house and we would read comic books. I was young. So, yeah. Boy, I forgot all about that.
I remember. Well, that's right, because she and I used to read the Starsky and Hutch books together.
That's right. Donna, there you go, Donna. Donna had a crush on the blonde guy from Starsky and Hutch. And he sang, you should try and pull it up. It is, do you remember that song that he sang, Donna? That was the worst song ever recorded. And you just thought it was.
I think it was called David's Soul or something like that. Yeah,
it was David's Soul. And it's the only song he ever sang. And it is absolutely terrible. Oh yes, Don't Give Up on Us. I don't know if you
Don't Give Up on Us.
It's terrible.
Don't give up on us, baby. Yeah.
Oh, don't give up on us, baby. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh,
fast forward to the lyrics.
Actually,
it is terrible.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That was him. He sung that song.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he
but
sung
I always
that.
That's got to be one of the top 5 worst songs of all time.
I love that song, Mallett.
No,
I do.
God,
I love that song.
Donna.
He doesn't know anything.
Donna, what were you going to say about that song?
He doesn't know music.
Well, that was back in the day when, the radio station would play it, and we'd have to sit by the radio.
Oh yeah.
And push
record
the record
it.
and
Yeah. Have your own mixtape.
To record it.
Yeah, with the little cassette
and
player.
I had everybody in the house. I'm like, don't say anything. I'm recording the song.
Right. I forgot about that.
I remember those days. What did you like to do when you were a kid, Donna? Like, what were you into? Were you athletic? Did you like to read books? What did you like to do?
I like to read books. I wasn't as athletic as Steve was, but
yeah, just ask him.
Yeah. But yeah, I did try to. Well, we went on backpacking trips when we lived in England. My dad took us on these backpacking trips up in the mountains, and that was always fun. I mean, I guess we complained about it too much back then, but looking back, I think we really enjoyed it. And it was.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I know that I was at the age where it was hard for me to enjoy it. And what I would do is we would start out hiking and I would just go as fast as I could and get as far away from you guys as I could. And then I would sit and wait. And as soon as you got caught up, I would take off again. So I didn't have to spend any time with the family, which was terrible. But
yeah.
This is more about Steve confession time. This is
No. I was antisocial. But I was 15
Were you
years old.
antisocial?
And when I was 15, I didn't want to be around my family. I thought I was too cool.
Were you too cool, Steve?
Yeah.
I think I was.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he would give us all the silent treatment.
Yeah.
And is it, Donna, is it hard to see Steve now as a grown-up, with children, with grown children, or do you still see a little bit of that 15-year-old bratty brother Steve?
I think I still see that little bratty brother in there. 'Cause but yeah, it was things I remember, and it's just nice to see that he's accomplished so much, and with everything we went through as kids. And, I think it was a great opportunity to travel the world and be in all these different countries. And, we just kind of learned to adapt every time we moved and make new friends,
I didn't realize it at the time how much of a blessing it was. But now that I'm older and have had kids of my own, I realize we were very, very lucky to be able to have that in our life.
Yeah. I know, because so many people, you ask them and they've lived in this place all their life, never gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Never been to Europe, never been anywhere. And, we traveled all through 2 different countries. And, I think I remember when we were in London, the way I kind of remember my growing up years is from the grades I was in. I knew, okay, well, I was in, kindergarten through 4th grade when we were in Spain, and then London was, junior high, and then high school. Yeah. So
was it as much of an adjustment for you when you came back? Because Steve has talked about it when you guys moved back to the States into, I guess it was Homestead, right, in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it an adjustment for you as well?
Oh yeah, it was a huge adjustment. I often tell people that we kind of lost ourselves and we got to Florida because we had to go into self-protect mode because we were friends with the black kids and the brown kids, and it just wasn't a thing. Our dad taught us to not be racist, and we weren't allowed to say certain words. And Steve's best friend was a black guy, and it just didn't really faze us. And then we get to Florida, and you've got the blacks and the Cubans, and we just didn't know where to turn, and trying to make friends. And usually we would make friends with the kids that were staying in the TLF on base, and kind of just learn to be a good friend. And I read a lot. I think that's kind of where my escape was, reading.
Yeah. It was really hard for both of us, I think, because not only the race issue, but we hadn't lived in the United States since I was in 1st grade and you were in kindergarten when we left. And then we did not come back to the United States till I was a senior and you were a junior, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard. It was a big adjustment.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't change it. I mean, I think it's, I kind of envy these kids that say that they've lived in one place all their lives, but I really don't. I think the way we grew up is, kind of cool.
Yeah.
And,
do you still have some friends from when we lived in Spain and London that you keep in touch with?
not really London, but yeah, Spain. When Facebook was so big back in 2008, I jumped on Facebook and started reconnecting with friends from Homestead. And I don't think I've ever connected with somebody from London. Have you connected with anybody in London?
No, I what was his name? Josh Wank? I think it was Josh Wank. Poor guy. Was it Josh Wank?
Oh,
yeah, Josh Wank. I tried to look him up years ago, and I couldn't find him. I did try and find Matt Ballard from Spain. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, it was. That was the only thing that was, well, there was a couple things that were hard, but that was one of the hard things, is that every couple of years you'd get up and move, and you always would hug everybody and say, all right, we'll keep in touch. We're best friends forever. And then you would move, and 6 months later you just kind of moved on and didn't really keep in touch with them. So the friends that we do talk to now, that's those kind of friendships are the best kind.
Donna, what kind of advice do you think, because you moved around so much and you live in California now, what do you think you would give to your younger self, to younger teenage Donna?
I think I would tell myself to be more, I think I was kind of an introvert. I think I would be more engaged with people and my friends. Because I just kind of stuck in my books and kept my head down. And, because I always had Steve as my big brother. And Steve Mallett's your brother? Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Steve Mallett's my brother. The good-looking guy on the track team.
Oh, God, you're going to give him a big head now. He's going to walk around.
Too late, Michelle.
He can already walk through the door as it is. I'm telling you.
You know what, Donna, what you had was, and I was envious of this, is you might not have had a ton of friends, but the friends you had, you were really close with. And I always thought that was really cool.
I got really close with my friend Beth from Spain. I did reconnect with her as well. So.
Okay. I was thinking Gina and Gina.
Yeah, Gina Davis. I did reconnect with her.
Yeah.
Well, I want to piggyback on what I was what I was asking you about your younger self. So let's go back to that 25-year-old Donna. You were just diagnosed, right? And what is something you think right now that she'd be real surprised of after all of these years with living with your diagnosis?
I think I would be surprised at, that's a good question. Well, just, like what Steve said, I've, been able to, keep friends, and, I seem to make an impression on people. I don't know why, but
you do.
People, they come over here and they want to come and spend time with me. And, so I think just, enjoying those friendships and just keep, keep culturing them, I guess.
Steve says you're always positive.
Well, I was going to say, just kind of just give us a brief overview of your everyday life.
Well, I have caregivers that come in and take care of me and, get me up to take me into the bathroom and give me my showers and brush my teeth. And then I do lunch. Like today Natalia was here. Last night I had Amanda here. And so I have, caregivers that help me do everything I need to do. And I can't feed myself. I can't, and I don't say that as, like, woe with me. I just don't have that ability. And so I have people to help me with that. And I use my phone and my Echo devices to control my atmosphere in my room, my air conditioner, my fan, my heater. yeah, I just, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, just what I wanted to give people was the context of why I think people want to spend time with you, because that's that would be challenging for anybody on planet Earth. And yet, whenever anybody talks to you, you have the most positive outlook on life. You actually have the most positive outlook on life of any person I know. And you're in a very difficult circumstance. That's why people want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Donna, I have an unusual question for you, and I don't know if you've ever been asked this before, but just strictly out of curiosity, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But when you dream, do you dream sometimes of when you were fully able-bodied, or do you dream of the body that you have right now?
I dream. My dreams are usually very vivid dreams. I dream a lot, and my dreams are vivid. And I recognize in my dream that okay, I can't be doing this because I can't walk, or I know I can't do that because my hands don't move, and then I'll get myself up out of the dream. But yeah, I don't really. I mean, I think I just recognize when I'm dreaming that. Okay, this is a dream. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm never in a wheelchair in my dreams. Which
that's interesting.
Is weird. I'm kind of off in a fifth dimension, I think. I don't know.
Wow, that's wild.
I just, it feels kind of out of body. I don't know.
Yeah. How do you feel when you're around people that complain about stupid everyday stuff like, traffic and just dumb things? How does that make you feel when you're dealing with the things that you have to work through in your life?
I think I just recognize that, their life is different than my life, and I just don't have to deal with that stuff. And, I'm sorry you had a bad day. And sometimes it's frustrating when I'll talk to somebody because I do a lot of advocacy for seniors and people with disabilities, and I'm on an advisory committee, and I think I just kind of sometimes I'll shut down because the person will be like, "Oh, my life is horrible. I can't work. They tell me I have to get a job, but I can't work. This, and this, and I'm like you're talking to somebody, who's dealing with the same, set of disabilities, and, just have to get a positive outlook on life and just, my faith is strong. And I think that's the other thing that kind of keeps me grounded.
That's exactly one of the questions I had for you, Donna, is that I know that Steve has told me that your faith is a big part of your life. That your church has been tremendously helpful on all the things that you do. And do you credit that to being grounded and being hopeful for your future, even despite of the challenges that you have?
Yeah, I think so, because I just always realize when I'm feeling like okay, now my caregiver's not going to show up, and what am I going to do? I just have to kind of look at the positive side and kind of
grab
onto my faith and recognize that Jesus loves me, and he's there for me, and I can talk to him anytime I want to, even in my room. So I think that's credited to a lot of just my religion. And because before 2020, I was going to church every Sunday morning, and teaching kids in primary. But then once the pandemic hit, I was stuck at home, which I used to try and get out at least once a week and go somewhere, whether it's out to lunch or to a meeting or whatever happens to be going on that month.
You're not getting
but,
out as much now as you used to, are you?
No.
Yeah.
Because I lost two of my caregivers. Lisa had a stroke, and Misha has gone on to bigger and better things. So she got, a job that pays more money and has more hours. So
yeah. Well,
can't blame her for that.
Yeah. Hopefully you can get somebody that can get you loaded in the van and drive you someplace pretty soon.
Yeah, actually, I'm going out on Friday.
Oh, right. Good.
So,
good to hear.
Donna, you said that you're kind of a mentor, and you mentor other people that are kind of going through the same challenges and the struggles that you are. What do you think that you wish other people would know about people living with disabilities?
I think that we're not invisible. I mean, we're here too, just trying to make a living and trying to, put one foot in front of the other and pay our bills and do everything like everybody else is in the world, and just struggling to do that. And I think that because people don't recognize it, and they see the person in the wheelchair, and they're like, "Oh man, that would be horrible." I don't know. I've been out in the public, and I remember I was in a restaurant with one of my caregivers, and this guy was watching me from across the room, and because I drive my chair with my head control, and I was like driving my chair, and I could see him watching me, and so he stepped right in front of me, and he said, "How are you driving that chair?" And so he followed us out of the restaurant, which was kind of weird, but he was curious, and I'm just curious. He said, you see people on wheelchairs, and you don't see people, driving their chair with their head. And so I think it just intrigues people. But then a lot of people, they don't want to be rude, and they don't want to say anything. And they just kind of watch from a distance and, realize, well, I'm glad that's not me.
Would you prefer that if somebody is looking at you and they seem kind of curious about your situation, that they would come up and talk to you?
Yeah, I do.
Don't just,
because you can yeah.
Go ahead.
You can see the wheels rolling, and you're like, okay, is the person going to say something to me? Which in this day and age can be a dangerous thing, but
well, yeah.
Yeah.
You were kind of piggybacking on you helping out other people. Were you working with the state of California and some advisory group or something for people with disabilities?
Yeah, I'm on an advisory council for. We advise the board of supervisors in our county for, with IHSS, and because I'm Medicaid, and it's called Medi-Cal here in California. And we just get together once a month or every other month, and we discuss what's going on in our county, and we kind of get everybody all, riled up, and we start, during tax season, all that, we try and make sure that, during voting, that we get the right people in office, and so they can help us, be able to keep, Medicaid funded. And because it's not just it's for people with disabilities as well.
Yeah.
As well as, people that are here, just trying to make a living for themselves. So.
Yeah. Does it frustrate you sometimes when there's people that are abusing those services at the expense of people like you that really, really need it?
Yes, that's
a great question.
I hate to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always frustrating.
You see it all the time. You see it all the time, and it's so frustrating when somebody says, "Oh, well, I get my food stamps, but they don't know how much I make." It's like,
yeah,
wow.
That takes support away from people like you that have to have it, have to rely on it. Yeah,
or even trying to go somewhere and somebody without a placard is parked in your spot, in a spot,
Right.
just because they wanted to make a quick trip inside of there. You know, Steve has talked about this before also, Donna, about the services that that particular state offers. And, you know, a lot of people dump on the state of California, but that is probably one of the things that they really do get right is the services that they provide for you. And so if you could, I mean, your brother lives in a different state, your father lives in a different state, your mother lives in a different state. If you could go anywhere where your family is, would you? And how do you think that the services would compare? Like if you came to Texas, here in Texas, have you ever looked into something like that? Is it not comparable at all to what you get in California?
No, it's not. I mean, I have a friend they became friends with up in Oregon. My mom and David met him camping. When they go up every year to go camping, and now they live there. But what was his name? Anyway, they met him, and he lives in Oregon, and so he kept reaching out to me and wanted to know how I navigate things. But Oregon doesn't have anything like what we have here in California for HSS, and I don't think Texas does either.
Texas does not. I think, if I don't think California gets a whole lot right, but that is something they have gotten right, is supporting people that are struggling and need support. They've done a good job with that. Yeah.
Because it's just keeping people safe in their own homes, and that's what most people want. They just want to live out their life safely in their own home. And,
you're in your own home, right, Donna? You are in your home. You're not in a facility at all. So the caregivers come to you. So you spend the evenings alone, or do you have a caregiver with you in the evenings?
I have a caregiver from 5:30 to 9.
Okay.
So my caregivers are usually here from 9 to 1 or 2, and then I have a nurse that comes by every other week to change my catheter, and then in the afternoon, like right now, I'm here alone. My roommate is also on IHSS, and she's in the other wing of the house. So we have our own home here.
Yeah, and she's a different situation, but still in living the same kind of life as you. Needs somebody's help, assistance for pretty much everything, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Grocery shopping, picking up prescriptions. I try to get all my prescriptions mailed to me, and we get groceries delivered, or if somebody says, hey, I'm going to Costco, can I pick anything up? Then, we'll jump on that. And, Kathy gets groceries.
Okay. Have you ever had something in the middle of the night where you've had to call 911 and have them come to the house? Has that ever happened to you before?
Thankfully, no.
Oh, okay. Have you had an emergency, though, where you needed to get a hold of somebody to have them come over?
Yeah.
And
I had a neighbor when I lived over on Hickory. I had a neighbor across the street. I could call her at any time. She had really bad insomnia, so she would always come over and just hang out with me.
Yeah, take advantage of that. You can't sleep, come hang out with me.
Yeah.
Donna, what is your guilty pleasure? What is the one thing that you really like to do? Is it watch trash TV or?
That's a good question.
I guess read a good book. Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Oh, just like your brother.
You and me both, Donna. Yeah. Chocolate is my downfall. I have a hard time saying no to chocolate.
I have to hide it from him when it's on my desk, or I just sit it on the desk, Donna, and I torture him with it.
She does. What's your favorite, Donna? Gosh. What's your favorite chocolate? Brownies.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Cut from the same cloth.
You can't go wrong with brownies. Yeah.
For sure.
Donna, I want to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I want to circle back to the MS because I think some of our listeners out there would either have family members, or I actually know a listener that is going through MS herself. But what's something about your journey with MS that you would want to tell somebody that maybe just got a diagnosis or is going through that right now? If they're listening, what would you want to say to them?
Well, it's not a death sentence, and there's so many, because I didn't have any drugs available to me that there's a plethora of them out there now that people can take for relapsing remitting MS or progressive MS, and there's so many different prescriptions that people can take to kind of mitigate the symptoms and can kind of help them through. And I just would always, for me, anytime I saw, okay, well, no, my right arm's not going to work for me. I'm not going to be able to use this mouse anymore. So let me see what I can find. And, then of course, I never thought about, I should invent something, but I missed out on a lot of money. But, then, I just found my mouse that I control with my head and just, stay positive and, just don't let yourself get dragged down with,
it's not only is it not good for your soul to be dragged down, but it actually probably hurts your health, right? To be very negative and down. You want to be positive and approach it with a positive attitude. You were doing the newsletter for your church for a while. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I still do that every week.
And just so our listeners know, you have glasses that you put on or you have something that attaches to your glasses, and then your computer is propped up in front of you, and you control it with this little. Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Okay, Donna, I have a job for you. You need to figure out how to do YouTube Shorts. You can control all of our social media.
You know what, Donna? You probably, I bet if you started a YouTube channel about how you navigate your daily life, that there's probably a lot of people that would benefit from that, or of just seeing how you have. I'm sure there are people that are quadriplegics for many different reasons that are now wondering, how can I be productive? You are a perfect example of how you can stay productive, even given these very, very difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
Well, I have a sappy question right now, okay? And it's a twofold sappy question. So I want to know, what is it that you admire about your brother, Steve?
I think just his tenacity, that he's just kind of stuck to his guns and realized that, he wasn't good working for another person. So he wanted to kind of create his own, and became such a successful business owner, and I'm just really proud of him for that.
Well, I don't know if it was tenacity as much as being too stupid to quit sometimes, but I do when I put my mind to something, it's pretty hard to stop me.
Well, the second part of that question is, I have the same question for you, Steve.
Oh, wow.
What is it that you admire most about your sister, Donna?
Well, mine is that even through some of the most difficult circumstances that most people could even imagine, she is positive, she is loving, she's caring, Donna, you touch everybody that you come in contact with is touched by just being around you, and that's the most admirable thing I could think of.
Well, you wouldn't know that somebody as curmudgeon as Steve Mallett actually has a heart and the sweetest sister around.
Well, that is the truth. Yeah. Donna, Dad and I are planning a trip out to come see you, so we're very excited about that. But what do you see in your future? What's next for you?
I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep, moving along and keep serving on these advisory boards and just keep trying to help people when they reach out to me. And because I get a lot from my nurse. She's like seeing other patients, and like, why don't my other patients do things like you do? Because I control my room, with using my Amazon device and turn on the heater, or turn on the AC, or turn the temperature up, turn it down. Just everything is controlled, and I think there's a lot of people that have reached out to me that ask questions about how you do that. And so I said, well, you just start with one device and then just kind of move from there and recognize the things that you want, other things that you need to connect.
Your room is amazing. How much you can do in your room. Just laying there in bed, you can control just about everything.
Yeah. When I, sometimes when I'm trying to control something, then, my caregiver will try and take over, and I'm like, no, I can do it myself. That's one thing I can do.
Yeah. I remember we were, when we used to come out at Christmas, I don't remember, this was probably 7 or 8 years ago, and we were in the mall, and you were in your chair, and it was real crowded, and there was a lot of people, and your chair is set up where you can control it, or somebody can take a little remote controller and control it. And I said, do you want me to drive you? And you said, no, I'll drive myself. You drove right through the mall, and off we went. We used to do that almost every year. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, I know. They took that carousel down.
Oh, no.
In the mall.
I'll have to post some pictures of that. We had a lot of fun doing that. But.
Yeah.
Well, Donna, this has been a lot of fun. I was a little nervous about it because I was afraid I was going to get all choked up, and I did a little bit. But you are the best sister I could ever hope for, and I'm sorry I wasn't so nice to you when we were young, but it wasn't because I didn't love you. It was just because I was probably an asshole.
Good thing you were the only sister.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right. I remember when we were in London and we were at school. One vivid memory I have is that Steve's friends, like, he came with his friends and they were all picking on me, and then the next day, Steve wasn't with his friends, and his friends came, and they were picking on me. And so Steve came up behind and saw what they were doing, and he came and he's like, leave my sister alone. And I was like, oh, maybe he does like.
Yeah, the rule was, the rule was I can pick on you, but nobody else could pick on you. That's the rule.
That's the universal brother-sister rule, for sure. For sure. Right. Donna, it has been such a pleasure to visit with you and get to know you and have you on the podcast. And traditionally we take people that are from the Texas Hill Country and the surrounding areas, and this has not only been a first for us, but this has given all of our listeners an insight to who Steve is and his roots a little bit. And you are just a person to really admire, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for joining us today.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording, Donna, in a sec, and then but stay on the line, okay?
Okay.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Okay, we stopped recording, Donna.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, how was that?
That was good.